History doesn't just sit around gathering dust in archives. Sometimes it lies hidden away in forests, beneath the water, or deep underground, just waiting to be disturbed. Today, you're gonna see some unusual findings that'll alter your sense of reality. This guy threw a magnet into a dark well with no real expectations, but the depths answered. Rising from the water was a legendary 14th century Topfhelm helmet. They started building a bridge without knowing what was waiting on the seabed. An American P-40 Kitty Hawk fighter with its machine guns still in pristine working condition. This treasure hunter definitely lived up to his title because he found a real chest filled with 20th century jewelry. In the 1950s, this area was known for crackdowns on smugglers. One of them most likely buried the box while returning from North Africa to avoid customs, but never came back for it. Abandoned cars from the 40s and 50s, an apocalyptic vibe. Did the cameraman accidentally stumble into Fallout? This auto necropolis is located near the city of Atlanta. It started as a car dismantling business, but over time, the area has become a museum with more than 4,000 pieces of art. Walking between rusted Ford Mustangs, Camaros, and Dodge Chargers feels like exploring a game map looking for loot. This meme finally became reality. Instead of diamonds, however, the lucky finders discovered 50 kilograms of gold ore. A huge abandoned boat stranded in the middle of nowhere, dozens of kilometers from the nearest water. Taiwanese authorities have no explanation, neither do we. This dagger was probably the last thing left of a Wehrmacht officer who knew that defeat was inevitable and buried his honor in the ground. For 180 million years, this place kept its secret. In 2022, British paleontologists finally uncovered it, the remains of an ichthyosaur. What's the strangest thing you've ever found in the forest? A fly agaric mushroom? Well, how about some abandoned M60 tanks from the Cold War? Let us know in the comments. This guy's metal detector must have been blessed by leprechauns or something. He actually found a pot of gold. While exploring the mountains of Utah, this drone discovered a giant concrete staircase to nowhere. Meet the Tintic Reduction Mill, a ghost factory over 100 years old. Can you imagine a family somewhere out there finding a safe full of money on the beach? Well, it's not these people. All they found was silica gel. At first, they thought it was just some forest cabin, but as they got closer, they realized it was actually a Soviet communications bunker. How about that?
This high of a ceiling.
Strolling through a quiet Belgian town, tourists suddenly came across an abandoned Airbus. But the real shock came when they entered the cabin. The plane had once been transformed into a cafe. It might be time to believe in alien life, because right now, something appears to be flying from space toward a secret American base. It looks like they were planning to test the craft, but once they noticed surveillance, they quickly moved it. How strange. In the German town of Hermesgeil, an old depot still holds 30 steam locomotives. They once carried both ordinary people and the most influential figures of their time, whose stories now sleep beside them. Horror movie directors are gonna fight over this discovery. Were people treated in this bunker or experimented on? Honestly, I'm not sure I even want to know. Picture this, you turn on a flashlight in the darkness and see a 20-meter fin whale skeleton, and behind that, 13 more skeletons, because this is an abandoned marine mammal museum. An operation to raise a South Korean ferry called the Sewol ended up being one of the most difficult salvage missions in history. Lifting the 6,800-ton vessel intact took 3 whole years. Perhaps nowhere in the world has preserved as many German secrets as the bunker at Mauerwald. This is where the Wehrmacht's high command gathered to plan some of the most important operations in World War II. This abandoned shipyard has already become the stuff of legend across Britain. From rusty fishing boats to relics from World War II, how did all of them end up there together? This ghost town looks like it was ripped straight out of Metro Exodus. Like this video if you agree. For decades, residents of a British town swam in this river without realizing that a rare early 19th century saber was resting at the bottom. A hidden entrance in the woods is strange enough, but inside it gets worse. Dark tunnels and clothing scattered across the floor. That eerie feeling creeps even through the screen. From 1952 to 1993, rumor has it that nuclear weapons were stored at RAF Woodbridge, so the guy who explored that bunker got lucky. Instead of uranium, he only found a few old vending machines. Still, even today, the area hides plenty of leftovers. Cartridges, ammunition, and mysterious powders, reminding visitors that this place isn't exactly safe. After Storm Debbie, people found many useful things along the coast, but the 18-meter yacht known as the Front Page might be the most expensive discovery of them all. In 2015, the world was shaken by a terrifying discovery. Some called it a Godzilla egg, others a newborn alien. Later, it turned out to be just a movie trailer. Welcome to the game Battlefield, or more precisely, the Spadia Dam RAF base. It's currently the only training ground in Europe for electronic warfare exercises. A fake airfield called Kolinsky has been built here, complete with old Soviet aircraft like the Mi-24 and MiG-19. A place where the past meets the future in a game of shadows and technology. The Living Coasts Aquarium was once home to marine animals rescued by volunteers, but the pandemic left behind nothing except lifeless figures. These divers seem to have found an actual crime scene at the bottom of the Red Sea. What those trucks were transporting is a mystery, and whoever disposed of them made sure it stayed that way. The engineers behind the British Chieftain tank forgot one thing. It blends into nature so well that it can simply be abandoned and not found again for 60 years. September 5th, 1909, the final working day of a steamship called the Eduard Bolin. As the result of an unfortunate accident, the sand captured it and has been holding